up till here, we have done a basic data exploratory data analysis, or I have just tried to visualize how my data looks like, how different columns are distributed. Just like we saw what is the count of people who survived or not, what is the count of people who survived based on their gender, so how many females survived as compared to males, what is the count of people who survived based on their classes, their passenger class, whether they were traveling in the first class, second class, or the third class, right? So this is just basic exploration of the data. So this part or this EDA will remain same throughout if any machine learning problem or any data science problem that you deal with. So first of all, you have to thoroughly go through your data, try to understand each and every column, look for any missing values, any incorrect values, any different formats, right? Part of data cleaning, right? So now we will look at data cleaning, right? So we want to fill in missing data, missing age data, instead of just dropping the missing age data row. So one thing is that suppose any data column has lots of missing values, right? Then the only choice that anyone has is to drop that particular column. Drop means delete that column, do not take that column into consideration in my model, right? But if the missing values are less, maybe just 5% or 10% of the whole data rows, then I can replace or fill those missing values in by some appropriate or meaningful values, right? So one way to do is by filling in the mean age of all the passengers, right? So basically, wherever I do not find the age, I will just replace it with the mean age, mean or the average age of all the passengers. So this way, that that filling in those missing values will not affect my analysis. So other way is that wherever I do not find an age, I will just make it zero. So if I make it zero, it will actually affect my model's performance, right? So, or if I put anywhere I do not find the age, I will make 1000, right? So 1000 will become an outlier because the column is about age of human beings, right? So there is a limit, a biological limit. So their age can be between 0 to 80 or 90 or not more than that, right? So we have to meaningfully, so it's totally up to us as data scientists or data analyst, what value we fill for the missing values, right? So there is a smarter way to do the same thing, is like this, right? So let's plot. I want to plot the passenger class and age. Okay, so I just want to see what is the distribution of age passenger class wise. So what is the age of persons traveling in class 1, what is the age of persons traveling in class 2, what is the age of persons traveling in class 3, right? So generally so there is no law which can say that okay, only 60 to 80 people between 60 to 80 years of age should travel in class 1, and people below 40 years should always travel in class 3. There is no rule like that. So let's see how our data looks like. So I'm doing this sns.boxplot. Boxplot looks like this. It gives me a median, lower quartile, outer quartile. There's a whisker, outliers are also there. We have seen this in data visualization, and I'm plotting p class with age. I am making this, changing the size of my plot to be a bit bigger, right? And yeah, palette is winter. So if I plot this, my data looks like this, right? So this is the distribution of age of the people traveling in the first class. This is the distribution of the age of the people traveling in second class. This is the distribution of age of the people traveling in the third class. Now, what I observe is that the mean age of the passenger traveling in class 1 is highest. Then the mean age of the passenger traveling in class 2 is the second highest, and the third highest is the passengers traveling in class 3, right? So it should be same based on my observation, but there is we see this kind of a trend. So one argument that I can think of is that the class 1 tickets are very costly, right? So and to accommodate such kind of wealth, to afford class 1 ticket of Titanic ship, I think people would need some years of experience of working and all. So, so general observation is that people who are working in IT and at the age of 40, 45 or 50, they by default will be having some good amount of wealth as compared to a person who has just joined the IT company in Bangalore, right? Coming to the second class and third class are, we saw that all the people, there are a lot of people because it's the ticket is the cheapest. So all the young people who are just hustlers, they went for the cheapest ticket and they went on to travel in Titanic, right? So most of the young people were traveling in class 3, some of the most of the middle-aged persons were traveling in class 2, and the rich older population were traveling in class 1. We see that the variation of this top bar and lower bar is showing me the variation. So people from age 0 to age 80, they were traveling in around they were traveling in class 1, and in class 2 people were between 5 years to 55 years, and in class 3 people from age of 0 to 53 only they were traveling, right? So there are somewhat some trend that we got to see. So what I want to do is that wherever, if in the age column the age of the person is missing, and the person is traveling in class 1, in passenger class 1, then I should replace that age with this age, the right. If the person who is traveling in class 2 but his age is missing, I should replace the age with this mean. If the person is traveling in class 3 and the age is missing, then I should replace with this thing to make it more meaningful. Otherwise, if I replace everything with the same value, then this distribution might be disturbed, right? So this distribution has some pattern because it is coming from the data that we observed or recorded from the real world. Now I have to make some modifications, add some missing values, and after adding my missing values, if this distribution changes, then actually I am tampering or mishandling my model, mishandling the situation, right? So I cannot, so any changes that I am making to my data should not affect the underlying pattern or underlying distribution that it already has, right? So it's a good choice to impute the age based on the passenger class. Impute means filling in. Impute, like something is not there, I'm imputing some value over there, right? So a simple way is to define a function. So I just want to define a function. The name is impute age. So I will take the age of the passenger and the passenger class of the passenger, and if the age is column is null, pd is null of age, if the age is null and the class is equal to 1, then you return 37. That means you make that missing age to be 37 if the class 37 based on this plot. So this line is around just below 40, so we are taking it as 37. This line is just below 30, we will take it as sorry, uh, just below 30, we will take it as 27 or 29. This line is almost midway 20 to 30, we will take it as 24, right? So we will see if the passenger class is 1, return 37, means you put the age to be 37. If the passenger class is 2, then you put the age 29, or else for any other case, or that means if the passenger class is 3. So what is the else case here? Passenger class will be 1 or 2 or 3. So we do not need to explicitly write over there. We can just use the else return the age 24. If this is not the case, then you return whatever the age is there, right? So what we are taking from the data set, you give me the age column and the passenger column. If any age is missing, this line means if the age is not there, if the age is null, then you apply this concept. Otherwise, if now else is in this level, this is the else is this else is for this. If the age is not null, that means this, then you just keep the age as same as it is, right? So now I have written this function. This whole function I need to apply to the age column. So in the age column, wherever it finds a null value, it will check the passenger class and replace the missing age value with the appropriate value. So to apply this function to the whole column, we have seen this apply function. So I want to do what? I want to replace the age column of my train data set like this. Train, you pass age and passenger class and apply this impute age function on the axis 1, right? So basically I am passing age and passenger class. So from the train data set, pass the age column, pass the passenger column, and on these two columns apply this impute age function, and axis is 1 because I want to apply this function along the column, not along the row. Okay, so what it means, for every row it will take the age and the passenger class and apply this logic. For the next row it will take the age and the passenger class and apply this logic. The third row, fourth row, for all 890 rows, it will take their age and passenger class and apply this funda, and I'll get an age like this. Okay, so now again, so now I have imputed, I have filled all my missing age values. Now let's try to plot the same plot again. If I plot this plot again, it is, see, now it is showing age is missing, but I have run, I need to run these two cells. Right now I'm changing the age. If I run the age column now, it should be, yeah, see, now none of the age is missing, so all is solid blue. Only this cabin column has lots and lots of missing values, and embarked here only one missing value is over there. So we, what we'll do is we'll drop this particular column because it is of no use. So it's cabin means your cabin number. So basically your seat number or your hotel room number or that room number in Titanic ship does not correspond to or relate to you being surviving or not. Okay, because there is no meaning. So those people who live in the odd rooms, they will all die, and those people who are living in even number of rooms, they will survive. So there is no logic behind this. So and moreover, we have lots and lots of missing values. So we'll just drop this column. We'll delete this column from our data set. How will I delete? Train dot drop the column name, the axis, and in place true. That means actually do it in my data set. If I run this now, if I check my head data set, it looks like this. Right. So now I do not have any cabin column over here. See, it was here previously, but now it does not have. Right. Now I am dropping all the NA column. So I still have one NA column. So if I now plot this thing again, I'll see there is no, see, there is no cabin column. I deleted it. So there is only one missing value in the embarked station. So embarked means the station from which the passenger boarded the Titanic ship. So it's better to just drop this particular row. So what I'll do is I'll drop NA in place true. If I run this and I plot this thing again, you will see that there is no missing value. Now my whole complete solid. So there are no missing values in my data set. So that missing values in the data set case has been handled. Now moving ahead. Now what is our next task? So our next task is to convert categorical features, right? So we will need to convert categorical features into dummy variables using pandas. Otherwise, our machine learning algorithm won't be able to directly take in those features as inputs. So now I have say sex or gender. So gender is male and female. So if a person is doing the analysis, he can relate, okay, it's a male, it's a female. But for a machine learning algorithm or a computer program or a processor, it male, female means nothing. They are actually a bunch of string in English language which are stored as a character array inside the memory. So it's better to convert them into a meaningful representation like 0 and 1. We saw 0 and 1. Then we have this ticket, right? So it's a ticket number. So your ticket number has nothing to do with whether you will survive or not in a Titanic disaster, right? So we'll be trying to drop it. And see, this embarked station has values as Southampton, Cherbourg, C, and S. So these do not mean anything for the computer. So it's better to convert this into dummy variables like 0, 1, 1, 0, something like that. Okay. So because we have only 3 stations, so I can actually impute them, or I can convert them into 010 encoding or hot one and one hot encoding, because you have 3 stations. So if it is Southampton, so for S it is 1, for C and other it's 00. Okay, so we'll try to convert all this string or English word into meaningful mathematical representations which can be used by our machine learning algorithm, right? So if I see train.info will give me all the number of, so if I run this now, I see all the columns are not null no. So all of them have 891 values and they are not null. And this is the column type I see. So name is object, sex is object, age is float, right? So now I want to get what I want to have. I want to create a new variable called a new data frame called sex, which will be what pd dot get dummies. So of this column, give me a dummy. So let me just run this and I'll get a what. Uh, so let me just print the sex column. So it looks like this, right? And if I just do get dummies, right? If I just do get dummies, then it will look like this. And I'll need to print it also. So now, so I am converting this sex column into a new data frame, which looks like this. So female 0101 and male 101010. So it is a mathematical representation of that particular gender, and I can use any one of the column, right? So if female, the value for female is 0, that means it's a male. right? So I do not need these two columns. I can just use one column. So it's better to use this thing variable called drop first is equal to true. So if I use drop first is equal to true, then the first column will be dropped. So I will have only one column, right? So this is what my checks column is. And similarly, it is for the embark column. So now let me do it with the embark column. So let me just copy it, paste it. If I remove it like this, so I have a, if I convert, let me just see the embark. So it looks like the C, Q, and S. So Southampton, Cherbourg, and Queens. One more station was there. So this line means the station was, first line means Southampton. This line means the station was Cherbourg, sorry. And this line means the station was Southampton, right? So I have converted it into a meaningful representation, but I can still do something, some better by removing any one of the columns. So if these two values are zero, that means it is Southampton. If this value is zero, this value is one, this value is zero, that means this value will always be zero. So I do not explicitly need all these three columns, right? I can make do with only just two columns. So here also I'll do what? I will use the same thing. Drop first is equal to true. So I'll use it here and I'll run like this, right? So the first one has been dropped. So when both of these values are zero, that means the value for this is what? C, Shever, right? So this is what my whole, this is how we impute, and just one line, right? So in just one line, I have changed this column. I have changed this column, right? Now what I want to do is I want to, so now since I have created a new column for gender, I have created a new column for embarked. I do not need the name column because so name of the person has nothing to do with whether he will survive or not. So I do, because so this column will play no role in determining the survival or survival of the passenger. Similarly, the ticket number will not play any more role. So what I'll do, I'll drop all these columns in place. So I'll run this. Now they are dropped. Now I do what I will do in the same data set. I will concatenate in this previous data set data frame. I will add the sex column and the embark column. These are the new columns which I created, right? So if I now see the head of my data set, it looks like this. So now my all my data is, so previously my data looked like this. It has lots of name, the mail and ticket number was there. Now I have converted my whole data set into a integer or a floating point. All columns are floating point. All columns are numbers. So my computer, my processor can make very well use of the numbers, can make some sense out of numbers, not English words. So now my data frame is in a perfect form for a machine learning algorithm to start learning from it, right? So up till here we have done only data exploration, data cleaning, data processing, and data visualization. Now within just next 2-3 lines of code, this is, we will do the complete machine learning implementation of logistic regression. Right now, since my data is in a perfect form to be applied to a machine learning model, now I can start with building a logistic regression model, right? So we have provided you with the training CSV and a test CSV. So you have a Titanic test CSV or Titanic train.csv. So essentially, you need not to divide it into, you need not to split it into two parts, because it is by default, it is already divided for you. But for our example, for our case, what we will do is we will actually divide this data into training and test. Right. So this train data frame will be divided into two parts, right? Training and testing split. So you can do it on your own also. You can do np.random, and you can take some portion for testing and take some portion for training. But there is a inbuilt or a there is a default parameter or functionality that comes with the sklearn library, so which is called train test split. So I will, from sklearn.model selection, I will import train test split, and I will then create x train, x test, y train, and y test using this functionality, right? Train test split. So what will be my x variable? Because so my features are what my, so in this data frame I want to predict the survived column. So except the survived column, I want to predict whether the passenger survived or not based on all these other parameters, right? So my target variable is survived. So my features are all these other variables. So what I will do is, so in my feature, this is for My features are train dot drop the survived column, everything except the survived column, and my y variable or the target variable is only the survived column. So I have given my x and y. Remember, we used to let me just do it again. Yeah. So I'll just annotate. Okay. So what we used to do is y is equal to some maybe m times x plus c, right? So my ultimate goal is to figure out my y as some function of x, right? So here my y in this case is what, whether they survived or not, right? And x is whole other parameters. So x can be okay, x can be like what is the passenger class, or what is the age, what is the what are some other columns, what is the sb, sibling and spouse, right? And other columns like this, what is the fare, whether they were a male or a female, where did they embark from. So based on all these rest of the parameters, I want to predict what is the survival, whether he survived or not, right? And I am creating the test size to be 30%. So 30% of the data set will be used for testing, 70% for training. So 70% of the data will be shown to the model, and the model will try to learn from the data, and it will be testing its performance or its learning on the remaining 30% of the data set, right? And random state is, I have kept it at 101. If you also want to see the similar results just like me, then you should keep this random state at 101, or you can kind of skip it also. So your result may vary with some from my result. Right now I want to first of all, I want to use logistic regression. I want to make a logistic regression model. So I will import from sklearn dot linear model import logistic regression. I've imported the model in my program. Right now, to use this concept on my actual data set, I need to create an instance of an object. So instance of the model, right? So we'll create an instance. So this is, so log model is now my model is created. Now with this now I want to fit this model on my data set. This fit means now I'm giving command, okay, you go and learn from my data set. So I'm fitting it on x train and y train. So whatever 70% of x train and y train I have created, my model is learning from that data only, right? So it means learn from training data split, right? So now see, once I run this, I get an output like this. So it has learned lot of different things from my data set. These are all called the hyper parameters of the model itself, right? So how the to in order to learn and predict, make the correct predictions, what all parameters the model has to change by itself, it has all done that. Now I want to check predictions. So I will do log model predict what is the value of y for the x test. X test is what, is the remaining 30% of the x, right? So remaining, for the remaining 30% of the test data set, we know the x values and we know the y values. So for based on my model, what is the what is the other predictions my model is making, and I can then evaluate these predictions with the actual values, right? So now I will make, so this is the predictions, all the predictions by this model has been stored in the prediction variable. Now I want to check how, what is the performance, how did my model do, right? So I gave 70% of the questions to my data set to learn from, then it tested, then it made a prediction on 30% of the remaining questions. Now I want to check how much marks he has scored, how well my model has performed, right? So from we have seen that the uh, prediction for confusion matrix we use, right? Or some kind of precision and recall, how much time it was doing correctly, how much time it was wrong. So I can do it manually, or I can directly import something called as classification report from sklearn.matrices, right? From the sklearn library and the matrix module, you import this functionality, classification report. So I will print classification report. You compare with y test the actual values, the actual answers that are there, and the predictions that the model made. So basically it will give me a table like this where precision was 0 and 1. So for the 0 class it was 67%, it was correct, right? And for the one, for the survived class it was correct 73% of the time. So my total performance was 70%. Recall, we saw that in the confusion matrix. Recall, we and the F1 score, right? So basically my performance was 70%. So it's not good actually. So it, if they were marks then they are good, but in our case it is not that good. So now what I want to you guys to do on your own is that, so we have used passenger ID over here, right? So passenger ID is just a sequence number 1 2 3 4 5. So but we have used this to make some predictions in our model, right? So do you think this passenger ID plays any role in defining or determining whether a person will survive or not? I think it should not play any role, right? So you should try this by removing this column also, right? So survived can depend on the age, it can depend on the passenger class, it can depend upon the station from their embarked, the station from their parent child, how many people are there, right? How many family members were there. So passenger ID, I think, should not affect. So it is intentionally left out so that the performance is less. You can try out with different parameters, dropping this column also, and then you can see what is your prediction, what is your model predicting, or you can do whatever. What you can do is that you can try to predict the survived column individually with any other column. Just one column you take at a time, or you can try to fit a linear regression. Then you try to fit a logistic regression. So you are by all means free to explore uh, any other combination which you might think can be useful, right? Second is maybe the cabin letter could be a feature. So we drop the cabin column, but right, but you can try to grab the cabin letter. So it's a hypothetical situation, but you can use this also. So is there any info that you can get from the ticket? So ticket number also we dropped, right? The ticket number column we dropped. So can you grab any information from here, right? Or the name column that we dropped, can you grab Mr. and Mrs. from the in this column and maybe use it to define whether the person was saved or not? So basically this Mr. and Mrs. will correspond to the gender column also. So whatever behavior, whatever effect the age column has on survived class, same should be same behavior should this Mr. and Mrs. The title, if you grab the title from the name, the same behavior it should also have, right? So you can try out all these things, and this way, so ultimately, let me go through it once more, right? So what we did, we started with a Titanic data set which contained data about different 890 passengers who traveled in Titanic, and out of them some survived and a lot of the passengers could not survive. So we have data like their passenger IDs, whether they survived or not, what was their passenger class, what is their name, their age, their gender, and their parent child, whether they were traveling in a family or not, and other informations. Based on that, we did some kind of exploratory data analysis. We saw that there are a lot of missing values in the age column and in the cabin column. Then we moved forward to get a count plot, how many people survived. Then we saw how many people survived gender wise, how many females survived, how many males survived, how many people survived based on their class, passenger class 1, class 2, class 3. Then we saw that what is the distribution of ages of all the passengers, right? Then we saw what is the distribution of sibling and spouses. So we saw that a lot of people were traveling alone, a lot second most people were traveling as a couple, and a lot of other people were traveling in a family or group, right? Then we looked at the distribution of fare, that of the ticket prices for Titanic, right? Then we also found out that the age column had a lot of missing values. Then we imputed or replaced the missing values with the average of the age of the particular passenger class, right? So we wrote a function which will take the age of the missing age of the person and impute the age based on the passenger class that person belongs to. Okay, this was one new thing that we saw that. And we saw that the cabin column had lots and lots of missing values, so we completely dropped that column, right? And finally we moved on to converting categorical features into dummy variables. So variables like gender, male and female, or embarked, right, they all were categorical. They were English letters or some strings. So we wanted to convert into 0 and 1 data frame like this, which my model can understand easily. So we converted them into dummy variables using the pandas.get dummies method, right? So once, and finally we obtained this kind of a data frame where all the columns are numbers or float values, and this is a data set any computer or a processor can understand easily. Now till this far, 80% of our effort of our time went on to data cleaning, data processing, and data visualization. So this thing is going to remain constant. You have to spend 70 to 80% or even 90% of your time on data cleaning, data and processing, and data visualization. So rest machine learning is was just a few lines of code. So I have my data set, I will split it into two parts, training and testing. Then the model I want to use is logistic regression. I will import that model, I will create the instance of the model, I will make the model to learn from the training data set. Then I will make some predictions. So my machine learning got over in these four lines. You can actually write all of these in single line also, in just one code block also, right? Once my model has made predictions, I will evaluate how many predictions were right, how many predictions were wrong. I will use a classification report functionality from sklearn matrices. So classification report is nothing but it will just say it will make a confusion matrix. So what is the prediction by the model minus what is the actual value, right? And how many times the model give correct answer, how many times the model give wrong answer, what is false positive, what is false negative. So it will give me a classification report in this form. So my present accuracy is 70%, right? So basically our model can with the probability of 0.7, so 70% of the time my model will give me a correct answer, and 30% of the time my model will give me a wrong answer. So if you give passenger name, if you give passenger id, passenger class, age, siblings and spouses, and fare and gender, then my model will give you a correct answer whether the person is going to survive or not 70% of the time. You should try out some different things also. You can try out different kind of visualizations also to understand the data better, right? So this is it from my side. I have a small exercise for you which I will be sharing with you, right? So in this in the exercise you have to use logistic regression on a data set, and also you have to do exploratory data analysis, you have to do data visualization, right? So you have to just keep answering these questions as you go ahead. So you have to you read the advertising.csv file, explore the column, check out for missing values, then do these kind of plots, right? This plot you have to do, this grid plot you have to make, right? Then finally you have to apply logistic regression over here, right? This will be your homework. This is the output that I get. You should try to get a output somewhere close to it, or close to this only, right? So thanks a lot. This is what I had to discuss in logistic regression. If you have any questions you can ask.
No, sir.
Okay. And guys, please keep going through the previous content also. If you face any problem anywhere, you should share as soon as you get time, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So if it is fine, then I would like to close this session, and thanks a lot for your time. And like from moving from now on, we'll try to have uh, like small sessions of every alternate day or every day, right?
Okay,
I
sir.
apologize. Like I have already, like last 2 or 3 weeks we could not have classes regularly. So now let's try to have one session almost every day. So 40-50 minute session only, right? So that we are in
Okay,
touch
sir.
with what we have to do. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys. So thanks a lot for your time. I am stopping sharing here.